and welcome back to Double Trouble podcast. This is episode 9 or 10. We're not sure yet, but this is the first time we're showing our faces. I'm Masaki, and this is George.
Hi.
This is kind of new. We're outside, and we're kind of excited.
I'm bloody excited. Let's get it. Let's get the
perfect.
show. Yeah, exactly. Let's get the show cracking. Before we start, make sure to subscribe and like the video as always.
All right. So you can see Tokyo Skytree right there, which is very, very clean, if I do say so myself. So we're gonna be talking about unsolved mysteries in Japan. We did a little bit of research, quite a lot actually, and we're gonna give one unsolved mystery, each of us, one each, total of 2, and I'm gonna be taking over the first one.
Please do.
All right. There's a lot of research for this one. All right. This is the murder of a pregnant woman and cutting baby from womb case in Nagoya, Japan.
Yeah, straight from the Reddit though.
Yeah, straight from the Reddit. Okay, so the case is, this incident occurred on March 18th, 1988, to a 27-year-old pregnant housewife who was waiting for the birth of her first child with her husband, a 31-year-old office worker. The woman was scheduled to give birth to a boy on March 13th, so she was basically 5 days past her due date. The man was at work as per usual and was calling his wife every now and then from his office because the baby could, come any second. At around 6:50 p.m., he called and no one answered the phone, but he didn't think much of it, And the husband came home to his apartment in Nagoya to find the door unlocked and the lights off. After changing his clothes, he heard a baby crying. He then discovered the motionless body of his pregnant wife and his now newborn laying at her feet. He quickly ran out and called the ambulance. At that moment, he didn't realize that his wife had been killed because he was too focused on the baby. He states, he thought that my wife, he said, the thought that my wife was murdered never crossed my mind. When the ambulance arrived, crew members thought that they were going to deliver a baby, so they brought, forceps and scissors to cut the umbilical cord. They soon realized that the man's wife had been strangled by an electric cord on the neck, and the killer proceeded to cut open her stomach and deliver the baby. The killer even cut the umbilical cord by himself. We don't know why. We don't even know if it's a guy or a girl. The room was filled with blood, and the IG police state that this is the most disturbing murder scene that they have ever seen. The baby was reported to have 3 cuts in the back of the leg, back of the left thigh, and the crotch. And the infant miraculously survived, and its first cry was in a sea of blood. Doctors said that this is a rare case. The mother died after the umbilical cord was cut, but various lucky coincidences such as early detection helped the baby survive. The killer was never found, making it a mystery, unsolved mystery, and the names of the victims were never publicly released by the police.
Okay, how am I supposed to digest this info?
I mean, it is kind of a very spooky, it is a very disturbing murder that, a pregnant woman was killed and the baby was found, alive, at her feet.
Yes.
It's very disturbing. So there's 2 theories to this. The Aichi Prefectural Police Special Investigation Headquarters initially suspected the husband, of course, as the killer, because, he was there and he was the only guy that saw. He reported the body, and some cases self-report, Among Us reference, self-report, and they thought that the husband was the killer, the murderer, but they realized that he was still working at his office at around 3 p.m.
Yes.
This is when this is the estimated time of death of the victim. And After returning home, he noticed a change in the house, but didn't confirm his wife's safety and changed into his suit. So that kind of like shows that, he's not really, he kind of shows that it's a natural reaction. Like if he actually killed the woman, I would think that he's not going to change. He's probably just going to be in a suit and call the police. Do you think?
So the natural, how can I say, so he changed back to his normal clothes.
Yeah,
so.
into normal clothes.
And that's a natural reaction.
I mean, so if you were to come home,
Yes.
in
your suit.
In your suit,
Mm.
wouldn't you change?
Well, I thought that I would be in such hysteria that changing clothes would be secondary. Right? That's not something.
No. So he walked in and didn't realize anything wrong.
Right.
So, like, my first thing would, get changed, wash my hands, and stuff like that.
Oh, well,
So-
of course. I mean, since the murder scene occurred in one of the darker rooms, right?
Mhm. Basically, yeah.
It takes time to find out, yeah. So you could argue that's natural, yes.
Yeah, so basically the police thought that that's a natural reaction. If he was in his suit, I mean, well, there's someone there, hello. If he was still in his suit, that's kind of, suspicious because, don't you think so? He hasn't changed. So what these, like, police are saying is that they're suspecting that the husband killed the woman, like, during or after work or before. And then,
So I'm not following that much. When he called the police or whoever, he was still in his suit, was he?
No.
Okay. Fair
So
enough.
yeah, this evidence is kind of,
Flaky.
yeah, flaky. That's the word. The door was unlocked and the lights were not lit. Later found out that from 1:50 p.m. to 3 p.m. the wife had a female friend come over and she forgot to lock the door when she sent off her friend. That's what it said. So I was suspecting that woman, that female friend. So the reports say that the female friend that came over came from 1:50 to 3 p.m. and when she left, the wife forgot to lock the door. And that's kind of that female friend is kind of fishy, don't you think?
Is she the second suspect, the second theory?
No, it doesn't say. So, in my opinion, I feel like that female friend is kind of suspicious. I mean, this is unsolved. No one knows, but I don't know why I'm sure they have, but I don't know why they didn't dig into that female friend more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But what was the relationship? As in, was it something that's got heated recently, or have they always had a calm relationship between these two? Are you not sure about that?
I'm not sure, but okay. So if we were in their shoes,
Yes.
if I was the wife and you were the female friend, I go to your house from one. Wait, I'm the wife. What did I say? I'm the wife. Okay.
You're the one killed.
Okay, I'm the one killed. Okay, so you come over to my house from 1:50 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Yes.
So around an hour and 10 minutes. Isn't that like weird? Just for an hour and 10 minutes. And the estimated time of death is at 3 p.m.
Okay.
That kind of connects.
Well, of course it does, doesn't it? But, if I was suspect, I would say, well, I was just having a cup of tea,
Cup of tea with my mate.
Exactly.
I mean, everyone can say that. Everyone's gonna fucking say that, man. Come on. The husband said at the press, he said, my wife liked wine, so please pour wine for her. And, that kind of got the police suspicious again for some reason. Do you know why?
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up?
So that's what I'm asking. Like, why? So the husband said, my wife liked wine, so please pour wine for her, like at her, cemetery. But why is that suspicious? Is that like a thing that we're not aware of? Pouring wine, is that like a sign of murder?
Maybe if you're Julius Caesar, but not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, And police state that it was too calm of a performance. And they debunked that on their own. I don't know why. Don't ask me. Therefore, the husband's innocence was proved, and police now think it was a crime committed by an acquaintance.
Acquaintance of who?
Acquaintance of, I guess, the wife, maybe. I mean, I'm the wife, but I don't know. I don't know who my acquaintances are. So that's theory 1. So suspicion of the husband, closest person. There's another theory. Theory 2, a professional killer.
Ooh.
So basically, a guy who just does this kind of stuff, like me. So no evidence other than.
Are you sure you want that on YouTube?
I'm kidding. Theory 2, a professional killer. No evidence other than a 38 centimeter shoe size. That's huge.
No, that's not human.
That's the
literal definition of a big foot.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's 28, but on Reddit, a very trustworthy site,
Of course.
it said not many evidence was there at the site, and it said besides a 38 centimeter shoe size. 38! I have a 27 centimeter shoe. What do you have?
27 maybe?
Dude, that's like 11 centimeters more.
I think it's a mistake, let's be real.
28. Okay, so 28 centimeter shoe size, not meter, centimeter shoe size. And that's the only evidence they have. Isn't that weird?
So, someone found the shoes?
No, I think it's a footprint.
Footprint, I see.
Yeah. So, a 28 centimeter shoe size footprint, I'm guessing, on the floor. I mean, I guess stepped in the blood or something, and that's all they have. And don't forget that the woman was strangled by electric wire, and it said that it was a kotatsu.
How can I say? So it's basically a table, but with blankets surrounding it, and then you got a heater underneath the table.
Yeah, and you put you like stick your legs in there and it's warm. So basically, that wire was used to strangle that woman. And there's nothing. There's no fingerprints. There's no like hair follicles that dropped. So I'm suspecting the husband again.
Oh, how come?
Cause okay, so I'm guessing that the police got in there. I mean, they're the police. They're gonna check for fingerprints, hair, footprints, and all that kind of stuff. And they didn't see anything. Meaning that it's probably someone that, regularly goes to that house. Meaning the female friend and the husband are suspicious in my book. Don't you think? Or either the guy was bald and had no fingerprints and was wearing a 38 centimeter shoe size.
Yeah, that's possible. I presume.
So, theories of a murder. So this is a professional killer theory. Theories of the murder being a person who studied/worked in the medicine field since the umbilical cord was cut. That's what it said. That's quite interesting because the umbilical cord was cut. Oh yeah, we forgot to mention that. The thing was cut. So
Yes.
that's kind of suspicious for the husband because he probably wanted that baby and just killed his wife maybe.
You just couldn't wait
That
for
kinda
6
rhymed.
days, so you had to kill it on the 5th day.
Yeah, on that day. I was like, bitch, give me my baby.
Wait 5 days, and then enough is enough.
So he was an impatient Bigfoot, basically. Okay. We should be police, by the way. We should be the police.
Out of all the policemen and policewomen out there who's watching this, please invite us.
Please invite us, yeah. But this umbilical cord medicine field studying man, this was disproven. This is because the umbilical cord was cut in, it says cut reversed in comparison with the C-section cut. Meaning that it was cut weirdly, basically. It wasn't cut in a very normal way. So that's why they're saying that it's probably not a person who studied medicine. If it was someone who studied medicine, they're probably going to cut it correctly if they actually want. If you're going to put the effort to cut the baby out and, you know what I mean. So It's a really hard mystery because the guy, he's an office guy, so he's not studying medicine. So it could, dude, it's the husband, man. It's the husband. It's the fucking husband.
But what makes the mystery more intensified, you could say? It's the baby was alive, right?
Yeah.
So there's
Ask the baby.
so there's no intention to kill the baby. Perhaps it's the husband, but there was some animosity towards the wife.
Yeah. Not some, like he killed the guy. He killed the woman. So.
What was the relationship between wife and husband? Is there anything on that?
Not really. I don't really have their background, their relationship,
Right.
but I'm guessing that, since the baby's still alive, I'm pretty sure that the husband killed the wife with some kind of, anger, and killed the wife, and then, wanted the baby. I mean, it's his baby, so I'm guessing that happened. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think? Do you have any suspicions?
Suspicions. Well, I'll rule out the 38 centimeter Bigfoot.
It's probably Bigfoot, man. It's Bigfoot.
I really would like some more information on the background of their relationships, especially.
True. That's a very big part of this mystery. But the police are, they came to a conclusion that the husband's innocent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure, we only read a portion. I mean, I did some research, but they only did. The only evidence they have is he was still working at the office at 3 p.m. And
Alibis. Are there any alibis out there? Because he was at work, then there must be an alibi for him.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure there's an alibi for him. So probably a coworker said.
Right.
And
if he fails to produce an alibi, then he's in the shit.
yeah, but I mean, there's proof that he was still working at 3 p.m. So I guess he has an alibi. And I think theory number 3. I think it's theory 1 plus theory 2.
Okay, so how does that work?
So basically, the husband is the murderer, quote unquote, but he hired a professional killer that studied medicine.
Didn't study medicine.
I mean, kind of studied, but he fucked up. How's that? Dude, I might be onto something. The husband hired someone to go to their house, kill the baby. No, not kill the baby. Kill the woman. Kill the wife. And get the baby out. And then go to the house. The husband goes to the house at a perfect time so the baby doesn't die. Change into his normal clothes to make it natural. Goes in there with a 38 centimeter foot.
I'm just baffled by the whole shebang, really.
So on the last part of this thing, it said there's some suspects, some witnesses actually. And it says, the victim told the female friend who came over that day that the room next door was empty, but the friend was worried since she occasionally witnessed a man entering and leaving that room. So basically, in the other room, the wife said that there's no one living there, it's fine, but that female friend kept seeing a guy going in and out of that room.
And this is somebody completely new.
Yeah. I mean, it could be, I'm sure the female friend would recognize the husband. So I don't think the female friend said it was a suspicious man. So if it was the husband, I'm pretty sure the female friend would know.
Of course.
But yeah, and on the day of the incident, a suspicious man around the age of 30 visited the downstairs family, and asked, "Do you know Mr. Nakamura?" Basically, the husband. And 2 elementary schoolboys living in the neighborhood testified that around 4:30 p.m., a suspicious man was walking around the house. They described him as follows: a man in their late 30s, 175 centimeters tall, wearing a long black jumper, no glasses, a light brown beret-like cap, walked with both hands in his pockets, hiding his face behind his coat collar. So there was basically a suspicious guy, and the downstairs family thing and the two elementary school kids, they're completely different, so that kind of aligns. Late 30s, suspicious guy, that kind of matches up. And at around 7 p.m., a different boy reported a suspicious man with similar features roaming around the west side of the crime scene.
Why would he roam then? Because if he's done the murder, then you can. The normal thing is
he might like walks, having a stroll after a killing spree, not a spree, but a murder. You never know.
Well, fitting all the descriptions is fine, but it doesn't make sense to linger around the.
It really doesn't, honestly. So I'm thinking, going back to theory 3, Masaki theory 3, is the husband hires a killer. He does his business, and then he's a professional killer, so he just does the thing, kills the thing, gets the baby out of the thing, and then dips the thing, and then roams around because he likes strolling to act natural. But he wasn't wearing any glasses. He was wearing a long black jumper. Everyone wears that. Late 30s, 175 centimeters, with a cap, no glasses. So, I mean, if he was wearing a mask, that would have been kind of suspicious as well. Maybe. I mean, it's 1988. There's no COVID. So, who do you think the killer is?
Out of all the information I have gathered, I'll go with the professional murderer.
The unknown.
Yeah, but hired by
the husband.
Yeah, why
not? My theory in it.
There you go.
Because it wouldn't make sense if a random guy killed. Okay, maybe it's like the husband's friend.
Okay. That
hated the wife, killed her, but felt bad because the husband was his friend. Was like, he probably wants a baby, right? Fuck the wife, but the baby though. And then gets the baby out because he studies a bit of medicine, fucks up with the umbilical cord, and dips with a 38 centimeter foot. Solid. I should be a police officer, honestly.
You know that I'm a little bit squirming.
Why is that? Why is that?
I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable.
I mean, we're in a dark park. I should be a rapper as well. And we're talking about some spooky stuff. So, I mean, it's a pretty interesting story, would you say? And this place, I shouldn't say this, but this occurred in Nagoya, which is, where we used to live. So, which makes it even more spooky. 1988, though, a while back.
I haven't heard any sort of urban legends of super murderer roaming around the streets.
I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, what if it's like just the police don't know who it is to the point where they can't even make wanted signs. They can't even make like a face drawing sketch thing, and we haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I mean, just as notorious as Jack the Ripper, for example. Yeah, just who is known as a figure, but nobody really knows how he looks like, what he does during the day. That's kind of sick. Yeah, exactly.
You must feel like a thug, a gangsta. Okay, so this this incident is very mysterious because it would have been not normal, but it would have been kind of easy to understand if the woman and the baby was killed, without the baby coming out or getting delivered. But it makes it so interesting and so mysterious that the woman's dead, but the baby's alive, and it was delivered. So that makes it my interest very interesting, and that was my mysterious murder of 1988 in Nagoya.
Yeah, thank you for making me uncomfortable. That's all I can say. back to part 2. Now to my story, which is murder slash bank heist. And
Ooh.
also there's a twist to the the arresting process, should I say.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Okay. Let me get my notes out, of course. So in English it's called the affair Teigin. Teigin being the name of the bank. I imagine it's Teikoku Ginko. Teigin Jiken in Japanese, of course. Now with this, it's 1948. Japan is still under the occupation of the GHQ, Douglas MacArthur and all that. So you can imagine Japan as a third world country, still decimated from the war and whatever. And then anyway, this is in Tokyo, Toshima ward maybe. Anyways, the man who's impersonating as the disease prevention officer. So he's got his all, what's the word? Like Captain Armband. He's got his armband around, saying, "I'm here to prevent dysentery."
Yeah, he's a good.
It's called sekiri, so you won't be able to poop that well. It's one of those third world country specific. Yeah, exactly. So to prevent the spread, which is already occurring pretty badly, he shows a demonstration of I think it was needle into himself, and so it gives people 16 victims by the way at the time.
Damn.
Yeah, gives assurance that this needle is safe, so please go and use it, right? So he injects this needle into the 16 people. In about 1 or 2 minutes, people are all unconscious, or at least fall down actually.
Okay.
11 of them unconscious, 1 also die. So there's 12 victims.
On the spot. Like 2 minutes past.
Yeah,
Okay.
so on the spot basically.
Okay.
One of them being a small child, so that's unfortunate as well.
Okay.
So ghastly stuff. So the only clue that was left here is a business card called Matsui Shigeru, who is a real person,
Okay.
but is not the suspect for sure. For definitely, okay.
Okay.
And he's a proper disease prevention officer.
Oh, okay.
So that's the backstory. By the way, 18 million yen in today's money was stolen.
18 million yen.
In today's money.
Okay. God damn.
Now, when Mr. Matsui-san was searched, it was acknowledged that he had exchanged his business card to 593 people. How they're able to whittle it down to 8 suspects, we don't know.
We don't know.
Thanks, mate. And the person who got arrested in the end, let me scroll down here a little bit, is called Hirasawa Sadamichi, painter. Normally of shunga, which is pornographic paintings. Not something that's really we can show on YouTube at the moment.
No pictures.
And what made the police convinced that Mr. Hirasawa was the suspect was that, first of all, he wasn't able to produce the business card, even though the other 7 people were, I think.
Okay.
Couldn't produce an alibi,
Okay.
even though he said that he was walking around the bank, not inside.
Sus.
Has committed bank frauds before.
Okay, it's this guy.
And in his bank account, he had about the same kind of money.
It's this guy, man. What do you mean?
Case closed.
Case closed.
See you next time.
Court. Down. Wari.
And Mr. Hirasawa did not specify how he got this money. So,
Bruv. It's over, fam. Bruv.
So
this ain't a mystery anymore.
So it was against him right from the start. I would say he didn't want to, say where the money came from, because he wanted to protect his identity, his profession, right? Because if people knew what his job was. So again, I'm just playing the devil's advocate here.
Okay, I understand.
And Hirasawa confessed during the interrogation, but then later on it was known that he was tortured, as always, to force out confession, which is very Japanese. Yeah. Not much more know anyway. But the interesting part is what happens after this, right?
Okay.
So the weapon later on, what we discovered was that it was called cyanide solution, so which is sort of biochemistry.
So he's a medicine guy.
But this is something that only military personnel who work at the highest level of government can obtain.
Okay.
And this is something that you use. It's a mass destruction killing. Only used for the war.
For okay.
And Unit 731, are you aware of? Have you heard of that?
No.
Okay, so this is something that towards the end of the war, when they captured normally English-speaking prisoner war camps, POW, sorry. It was an experimenting facility, to put it kindly. They had people taking out the organs without using anesthetics. It was gruesome history.
Okay.
But the cyanide solution that was used is something that you can only obtain from that sort of facilities.
So you can't make it, basically.
No.
It's only a substance.
Especially not a painter.
That's true, yeah. I mean, a painter, that's okay, that's kind of suspicious. We're like, what's your occupation? Oh, I'm just a painter, man. Sounds like the most innocent job, so that's kind of maybe misleading. I don't know.
But it's not something that's false. He was truly
a painter,
but not something they want to show it to the whole world for obvious reasons. And so because of these mysterious circumstances, you could say, the death warrant was never signed by the judge, the government, whoever, even though during the Saiban, how do you say again? Court process, he was given the death penalty. So what happened was that he was left to rot in prison for 32 years. Because there's no evidence that he can be let free, but then again there's no evidence strong enough to punish him.
Oh, wow.
And even by Japanese standards, 32 years is record-breaking stuff, supposedly.
Okay, so he couldn't be let out because there was no evidence that he was innocent. But then again, there was no evidence that he, did the thing.
Exactly. He died in prison in 1987 after he caught pneumonia.
Oh, this is hard. This one's hard. It's not a Bigfoot for sure.
Yeah, okay, so with suspects, what can I say? There's not much that I can say. It's somebody who has connections with the disease prevention officer. So you imagine who has some connection with the government, right? Because because the business cards, the drugs that was obtained, whatever. But then again, out of all the suspects that was brought into the police station, it turned out the painter was the most likely.
Yeah, and he's the one that had the money in his bank account, right?
The same amount.
Huh. Is that a coincidence? Not having what was it?
Alibi.
Not having an alibi, having like around the same money in his bank account. But him obtaining that sort of substance is very hard, right? Like, I mean, it's gonna cost a fortune, even if you have connections, that sort of connection. So, I don't know. He might have just been popping about the painting thing, man. It might have just been 18 million yen. But in that time, in what was it? 48. It's not normal to have 18 million in your bank account, right? Or am I just dumb?
That's a very good point, actually.
Like, it's not. You're not walking around with 18 million in your bank in this, especially like in this era, not era, but like year. So that's kind of suspicious, I feel like.
But there's absolutely no proof that Mr. Hirasawa had any connections with
the government.
in any shape or form, and so could somebody frame him? Well, the interesting part here was that when he wasn't able to produce the business card, his excuse that his wallet was pickpocketed, which was true.
Him being framed, that might be a really good theory, actually, because I'm watching Prison Break, and Lincoln, the main character, the second main character, he's being framed basically for a crime that he didn't commit, and I feel like that kind of stuff actually happens, and especially with that kind of money. I feel like he was framed and he was used, and he can't really. Does he have a family?
Oh, he should do, shouldn't he?
So that I'm guessing that the painter was framed, and he was threatened that his whole family was gonna get killed if he doesn't obey, and if he says anything else, his family's being threatened, I guess. I mean, that's happening to that has happened in the past. So
Really?
yeah, I think that being the frame thing is a really good theory, I would say.
This is something that came up myself, although the story I nabbed it, of course, from Kento Bento-san. Has 9 million views, the video.
9 million, damn, almost as much as the money he. Okay. Any other suspects? No.
Suspects is the suspect did well for himself for not giving much clue. The other reason why I think he framed somebody at least, because Matsui Shigeru-san, because you can imagine that first he tried to frame Matsui-san, right, for leaving the business card, and then when that failed, you could say, well, he tried to frame somebody who had exchanged business card, but then he didn't have business.
This is getting techie. This is very, very hard. I don't know. This is a very. He's dead. He was the guy was in prison for 32 years, and I feel I'm pretty sure he got framed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Do you have any theories about why he was the guy that I guess the people chose?
Well, so in this process of the 8 suspects were shown towards to the witnesses that were there, and it wasn't a unanimous vote, but most people said, instantly.
Mm-hmm.
They said, it was Mr. Hirasawa-san.
Instantly. So the other 7 basically just pointed fingers.
No, the people who said it was him were just witnesses, third party.
Okay, third party.
But then also it's suspicious because only 2 people out of many witnesses said it was Hirasawa-san, and nobody else pointed his finger. But the 2 people who did point out were very, very confident that it was him.
He got set up, man. He got set up, I'm telling you.
Do you think the suspect also tell the witnesses to?
No, it could be. It's 18 million. They're gonna think about all of that. Another Netflix show that I'm watching, I watched, is Money Heist.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie about a bank heist, and they think about everything, basically. It's not based on a true story, I don't think, but those kinds of criminals going for 18 million yen, that kind of cash, they're gonna think about for years before they actually do it. So, and especially in Japan, I feel like they're gonna frame people. They're gonna use other people, and they're gonna be as far away as they can from the actual incident. So they're gonna use witnesses and hire witnesses, a portion of what they earn from this. And the witnesses are going to point fingers, and then witnesses in these types of incidents are very strong and very good evidences. So I'm guessing, I would say the witnesses are being set up as well. Not set up, but they're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Very interesting one you brought.
It's a bit I wasn't able to produce many theories because, well, the suspect did well for himself for not leaving many clues, except for Mr. Matsui-san and Hirasawa-san, the painter.
The painter, Hirasawa-san. Okay.
Yes.
Dang. So, I don't know if you already mentioned this, but why did they kill 11 people or 16 people? Was there a reason for that?
Right. So he saw the excuse me. So it's around 3 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
It just closed. So and I think they were in the process of counting cash, and there was a bill kit of stamps.
Okay.
So in that day's money, it was 16 man. So each man is 10,000. So how much is 10 man again? Sorry. 100,000 is it?
Fuck. 10 man is
100,000, isn't it?
100,000. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was 160,000 in cash lying at the moment.
Okay.
And then each man, so that's 10,000 in stamps.
Okay.
So he was able to see that because the bank was just closing. So I don't think he cared how many people died. Just take all of them out and just went for the quick swoop.
Damn. I mean, the way he killed those people, it's like almost so like it went like too well. So it's planned basically.
Of course it is.
I mean, they planned to kill 16 people. I mean, they planned to, they planned everything out, I feel like.
It's incredible that they had amount to kill 16 people. That's a lot of drugs and needles to people.
Dude. The suspects, the people who actually set this up, are hella far probably. They're probably not even in the country, to be honest. They're like, it's so far to the point that this mystery is never going to be solved. Not like it's just well planned out basically. And they got those kinds of hard drugs because they're just they're just OP like that. They're probably connected with the government, like you said, and just set people up. Probably said, I'll give you this amount of money, or if they said no to that, they're probably gonna say no. They're probably gonna threaten their family. And the thing that I wonder when people are getting set up is, how do they pick who to set up or pay? I mean,
well, you could say the painter was in a vulnerable position because he could never really tell how he earns money. He doesn't really want to reveal his position, so he was always in a vulnerable position. If he was set up, obviously,
he was.
So the vultures in this case just went in for the painter, right?
Yeah. So yeah, him being that kind of painter, yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. So he can't really specify, and he doesn't want to specify where he gets that money, and it all connects. They probably put the money in his bank account, and to make him look guilty, and then once the police get one person in jail, they're probably gonna be like, all right, we're done with that case, and the actual suspects are free. Yeah, that's a setup. I mean, props to them. They're smart as fuck. 1948, right?
1948.
Yeah, that kind of money, that's not roaming around in that year.
Do you think there's any significance that it was under occupation of the Americans back then?
That might come back to the point where, what I said, they're so far, they're probably not even in Japan. Maybe. You never know. Yeah, so I don't think the suspects, the actual people who set this up, are even remotely close to the witnesses, the painter, or anyone.
Alright, before I wrap this up, any other questions?
I don't know, we should do this more often. We each gave out one unsolved mystery, and I think this is a really good episode. Mine was very gruesome, very grotesque, and a bit mysterious, but yours was more, it got me thinking more.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, very good episode, I would say.
I enjoyed it myself. Thank you.
Yeah, and this is the first time we showed our faces, obviously. And if you guys enjoy, and if you guys think that we should do this more often, please let us know by hitting the like button, and please subscribe if you haven't already.
Talking of subscribe, we've got our second channel, DTShorts. Don't worry, there will be videos coming up soon enough. We also got our Instagram,
Hopefully.
TikTok, Facebook, all of that good jazz. Links in the description.
Please check those out, and
Until then, take care.
peace!